Cole Palmer and João Pedro, Chelsea's new dynamic duo.
Now what a trick from Palmer! Superb! João Pedro, it's 3 and Chelsea are running away with the FIFA Club World Cup final.
In the past, whenever Chelsea paired a world-class attacking midfielder with a lethal centre-forward, they became a dominant force in Europe. Think Lampard with Drogba and Fernando Torres, or Mason Mount with Kai Havertz. And now it's happening again.
I mean, Palmer, he was flying, that guy, and we can already feel that with João Pedro, there is already something going on.
We all knew Chelsea had landed a special player when they signed Cole Palmer from Manchester City. But until now, he hadn't found the perfect striker partner to truly unlock his game. João Pedro is exactly what this team needed.
In here, Pedro's one-on-one. João Pedro! That is impeccable.
Honestly, after what happened in 2021, I never thought Chelsea would become all title favourites again so quickly. But after beating PSG in the Club World Cup final, with Palmer and João Pedro leading the attack, it's clear. These two aren't just one of the best duos in the Premier League. They're becoming one of the most dangerous duos in all of Europe.
I don't think before today there was really any kind of expectation that they would be up there on the level with Liverpool in the league last year, with Manchester City, and even with Arsenal. But I think today, by winning this game in this fashion against that opponent, you cannot help but think going forward, this might have been the turning point that Chelsea had been waiting for.
You know what's wild? João Pedro is completely changing how we think about strikers in the Premier League.
Adingra. Oh, he digs it across, should be the match-winning moment. Pedro!
When a team signs a centre-forward who's almost 6 feet 3 inches, you expect the usual. A classic target man, big presence in the box, someone who lives off crosses and headers, a straight-up goal poacher. But João Pedro, he's nothing like that. Despite his height and build, he's not just waiting around for service.
Into João Pedro. This looks promising for the Seagulls. João Pedro, offloaded to Lamptey!
He's not a statue in the penalty area. Instead, Pedro is this incredibly smart, fluid player who drops deep, helps build plays, links up with midfielders, and even sets the rhythm for attacks. He's more like a creative forward trapped in a striker's body. João Pedro just finished an impressive season at Brighton, scoring 10 goals and proving he's got what it takes to shine in the Premier League. Chelsea didn't waste time. They locked him in with a massive deal, around €70 million including bonuses, and gave him a 7-year contract through 2032. Yeah, they're that serious about him. Now, some fans were confused. Why sign João Pedro as a striker when you just brought in Liam Delap? But here's the thing, when you look at João Pedro's heat map, it's clear. He's not your typical number 9. He doesn't just stand around waiting in the box. He drops deep, shifts left, links up play, and creates chaos wherever he moves. The guy's a chameleon in attack. He's played as a striker, a left winger, and even as a second striker, or attacking mid. And that's exactly why Enzo Maresca wanted him. Sure, Chelsea buys like crazy everything that moves around and scores a goal. Let's save that for another video. But Pedro's profile is different. His versatility makes him dangerous. He can carry the ball from midfield, break defensive lines, and pull defenders out of position, all while being strong enough to finish inside the box. He had 45 successful progressive dribbles in the Premier League and maintained a solid 68% passing accuracy, which is impressive for a forward who's always looking to take risks. So yeah, you might think Cole Palmer already runs the show as the main playmaker, but having someone like João Pedro next to him, that's not a conflict. It's a nightmare for defenders. João Pedro's off-ball movement opens up lanes, and when he has the ball, he turns into a one-man wrecking crew. He's not like Sorloth. You don't just worry about him in the box. You've got to track him all over the pitch, and that's what makes him special. Just take a look at what he did in the Club World Cup final, with and without the ball. It was a masterclass. So let's break down exactly why João Pedro fits Chelsea's system like a glove, and how he completely wrecked PSG's defensive shape in that Club World Cup final. Chelsea lined up in their classic 3-2-4-1 setup when they had the ball, and João Pedro was right at the tip of the spear. His movement and positioning were so sharp, PSG's defence was scrambling all first half. The guy just knows where to be, and more importantly, when to be there. Here's a perfect example. Chelsea is building from the back, and Robert Sanchez chips a ball down the left to Cucurella. João Pedro starts out behind Lucas Beraldo, but as soon as the ball reaches Enzo Fernandez, he takes a few quick steps, just enough to create a passing lane between Beraldo and Marquinhos. Boom, Enzo sees it, plays him through, and suddenly PSG's centre-backs are out of position. That's not luck, that's high IQ movement, and it didn't stop there. Later, during a slick combination play between Pedro Neto and Fernandez, João Pedro chills near the penalty spot, waiting for the perfect window. As soon as the ball goes to Fernandes, Pedro shifts behind Marquinhos, receives the pass, and, this is where it gets cheeky, he backheels the ball straight to Cole Palmer, who nearly buries it. That kind of instinct and chemistry in just a few weeks of training, that's rare.
It's a Chelsea team that might well be blossoming. João Pedro, Cole Palmer!
Chelsea's entire game plan was to attack PSG's left side, and João Pedro played a major role in that. While Palmer and Gusto were trying to outnumber Nuno Mendes on the wing, João Pedro had one job: occupy Beraldo, PSG's left centre-back, and he did it perfectly. He'd often position himself just off Beraldo's right shoulder, meaning when Chelsea attacked the right wing, Beraldo had to drift more central to cover Pedro's diagonal runs. That left Gusto one-on-one against Mendes, and guess what? That's exactly what Chelsea wanted. João Pedro showed just how much he understands the game off the ball at the second goal. Palmer had the ball at his feet, squaring up against Vitinha, while Beraldo was coming in to help close the gap. But just behind them, João Pedro was already on the move, sprinting forward into the final third. That run, it forced both Vitinha and Beraldo to second-guess themselves. They didn't know whether to step up to Palmer or track João Pedro's run. And that split second of hesitation gave Palmer all the space he needed to cut inside and curl a beauty into the bottom corner.
Cole Palmer exploiting that space again. Now what a trick from Palmer! Super!
João Pedro has barely had time to train with this squad. He's only just arrived, but his understanding of positioning, timing, and how to support teammates without needing the ball, that's next level. It's not just about scoring goals, it's about creating the conditions for others to shine. And João Pedro's already proving he's the perfect partner for a playmaker like Cole Palmer. Alright, let's talk about João Pedro's killer instinct in front of goal, because it's one of the most underrated parts of his game. The guy's got crazy fast decision making. He's not the kind of striker who hesitates or overthinks. If he sees a chance to shoot, he pulls the trigger instantly. It doesn't matter if he's off balance, under pressure, or in a tight angle, João Pedro always seems to get his shot off before defenders even know what's happening. What really makes him dangerous is how good he is at creating his own shooting chances. He doesn't wait around in the box hoping someone feeds him a perfect pass. He'll take the ball, drive past a defender, carve out just enough space, and boom, he's already taking the shot. That's why his numbers are insane. In the Premier League this season, he scored roughly one goal every 54 minutes. That's basically a goal per game. He averages 2 shots per match, with 1.3 on target, and has a conversion rate of 50%. Now, he's not really the kind of striker that bangs in screamers from 30 yards out. That's not his style, but give him the ball anywhere near the box and he'll make something happen. He knows how to cut inside, combine with teammates, and pull off those quick 1-2s that open up the defence. Whether it's a tap-in after a slick passing move, a sharp header, or even a cool penalty, João Pedro just knows how to find the back of the net in every scenario. Another thing that really stands out about João Pedro is how smart he moves inside the box. He's not just running around blindly or constantly trying to beat defenders to the penalty spot. His movement is way more calculated than that. Sometimes he'll actually make a run away from the ball. Sounds weird, right? But that's exactly what makes it so clever. By moving in the opposite direction, he pulls defenders out of position and creates space behind them. And that's when he strikes. He's the kind of forward who can change direction in a split second to attack a cross or latch onto a cutback. But the real magic, he's always scanning, always aware. João Pedro doesn't rely on brute strength or pure speed to get open. He uses his brain. He's constantly checking his surroundings, figuring out where the defenders are, where the ball might go, and what space he can attack next. It's like he's one step ahead of everyone else. Instead of just sprinting toward the penalty spot over and over, he waits for the right moment, the perfect positioning, to make his move and go for goal. That level of awareness is what separates average strikers from truly elite ones. And João Pedro, he's already looking like he belongs in that second group. And on top of all that, João Pedro also has that classic number 9 instinct. He knows how to be in the right place at the right time. You'll often find him ready to pounce on a rebound, right there when a keeper spills the ball. He's got that killer instinct inside the 6-yard box, whether it's heading the ball into the net or smashing in a loose ball. This guy's the full offensive package. He can drop deep, link up play, carry the ball, find angles, shoot with confidence, and then still be the first one to clean up a rebound or nod in a header. That's rare. He blends the intelligence and versatility of a playmaker with the instincts of a pure striker. Now imagine pairing that with Cole Palmer, who's already one of the most creative and unpredictable players in the league.
Look at this, most goal involvements in Europe's major leagues since he made his Chelsea debut September last year, and only Harry Kane has more, which is quite extraordinary given his relative age as well. You think of the development to come from him.
Cole Palmer isn't just good, he's clutch. Since his Premier League debut with Chelsea in the 2023-24 season, he's been on a tear. That year, he dropped 27 goals and 15 assists, putting himself right up there with the best players in the league. The only reason he didn't win the Young Player of the Season award? Phil Foden, who had the same number of goals but 2 fewer assists. But Foden played for Man City, and yeah, they won the league. Palmer didn't. Still, the numbers speak for themselves. But what makes Palmer special isn't just his stats, it's how he shows up in the biggest games.
Yo creo que lo mejor que nos puede pasar, o que lo mejor para nosotros es que no juegue Palmer, porque había hecho una temporada que todo lo que tocaba lo metía, y es el típico jugador que tiene algo especial.
In the Euro final versus Spain, he came off the bench with 20 minutes to go and scored a stunning equaliser out of nowhere. That's Palmer, cool, calm and dangerous when it matters most. Even this season, with a slight dip in form, he still scored 18 goals and delivered 14 assists. He dropped 2 assists in the Conference League final against Betis.
He really stepped forward. That's a great ball! And a goal for Chelsea! Great turn by Palmer, and his cross was great too!
And in the Club World Cup final, he completely took over. 2 goals, 1 assist, all 3 of Chelsea's goals, and the MVP of the tournament, ice cold.
Exploiting that space again. Now, what a trick from Palmer! Superb!
And this isn't a one-off, he's been a finals machine since 2023. In the U21 Euro final, he drew the foul that won England the trophy. In the English Super Cup, he scored the opener for City against Arsenal. Then, just a few days later, he scored again in the UEFA Super Cup and helped his team making the 1-1.
Rodri. Palmer! He scored in the Community Shield!
And then to win it in penalties. When you break it down, Palmer has played 7 official finals, scored 5 goals, delivered 3 assists, and won 4 titles. In other words, he's the kind of player who shows up in the biggest matches, and he's proven it every time he's been given the chance, for better or for worse. Add to that his 4-goal performance versus Brighton.
Was this maybe the best performance of your career so far?
I'm not sure. Maybe it was up there.
4 goals? It was insane. He scored in every way imaginable. A finish inside the box, a calm penalty, a beastly free kick, and a run in behind the defence to slot it in at the near post. Simply cold Palmer. And his masterclass against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. This kid isn't just a baller, he's built for the spotlight.
Palmer to seal it. Oh yes!
Here's the problem with Cole Palmer. He's so good, it's hard to pin him down. The beauty and curse of Palmer is his insane versatility. He can play as a number 10, a false 9, a right winger, a left winger, even as an interior midfielder. He's basically the Swiss Army knife of Chelsea's attack. His individual brilliance always finds a way to show up. One of his biggest weapons, his through balls. Palmer has this special touch, especially from that inside right channel, where he curves the ball in on his left foot and slices defences open. It's the kind of pass that catches centre-backs flat-footed and creates instant danger. He sees the runner on the far side and boom, perfect pass behind the line. That kind of vision and execution is rare. But again, it depends on who's making the run. And if the system isn't built to give him those targets, Palmer's talents can feel underused sometimes. Cole Palmer had the vision, he had the talent, but he didn't have the right setup around him. With Enzo Fernandez playing deeper, Palmer was often left isolated up the pitch, with no one to bounce off of, no rhythm to build from. He had to do too much, too often, and that made Chelsea's attack feel disjointed. Things started to shift with the arrival of Pedro Neto. Neto helped stretch the field, pulled defenders wide and gave Palmer more breathing room between the lines. But it's João Pedro's arrival that truly changes everything. With João Pedro pulling centre-backs out of shape and dropping into midfield, Palmer finally has what he needs: space, time and freedom. And with that freedom, you start seeing the real Palmer, a dribbling machine. This season alone, Palmer completed over 1,100 successful dribbles with 116 progressive carries and a ridiculous 34.36 take-ons per 90 minutes. That's more than Martinelli, Saka, Son, even Pedro Neto. And Palmer's doing it from midfield, often in crowded areas. That's what makes him dangerous. He can break lines right through the middle. When Palmer dribbles in tight spaces, he's sharp, explosive. His cuts and feints aren't just flashy, they're calculated. He beats defenders with quick changes of direction, and then, boom, he's gone. He even uses that same style when shooting. a fast shift across his body, then wraps the shot toward the far post. Cole Palmer isn't just a creative midfielder or a central playmaker, he's a shapeshifter. Sure, he's spent a lot of time out wide for Chelsea, especially on the right wing, but he doesn't just stay there hugging the touchline. In the early part of the 2023-24 season, Palmer constantly drifted inside into that right half space, looking to link up, thread through balls, or float in dangerous crosses to teammates attacking the box from the opposite side. His movement inside doesn't just help him get more involved. It opens doors for everyone else. It gives space for overlapping runs by right backs like Reece James or Malo Gusto, who can fly down the wing, while Palmer plays them in with a quick layoff. And by joining the central zone, he helps Chelsea overload the midfield. A 4-3 advantage? That's deadly, especially when Palmer's on the pitch. From that inside right channel, Palmer is dangerous. He can receive on the half turn, glide past defenders, and slot through balls into the path of attackers like Joao Pedro. And if defenders try to press him tight, he can dribble his way out with clever footwork and tight control. But when you give him the keys to the number 10 role, that's where Palmer truly levels up. As a fixed central attacking midfielder, he doesn't just create, he dictates. He plays more grounded through balls, weaving them through defensive lines with insane precision. He's also able to twist and turn with the ball, changing direction on a dime to shake off pressure and carve out passing lanes. What's wild is how comfortable he looks in traffic. Even surrounded by defenders, Palmer can spot a passing lane no one else sees and slide in a perfectly weighted ball to a runner. He's not just reacting to the game, he's 2 steps ahead. Now, Cole Palmer and Joao Pedro playing together. That's a nightmare combo for any Premier League defence. After winning the Club World Cup, Chelsea isn't just back. They're contenders for everything this season. Palmer brings that midfield magic, the killer pass, the vision, the calming chaos. He's the guy who makes everything click in the final third. And Joao Pedro? He's the wild card. Quick combos near the box, sharp finishing, dangerous dribbles, smart assists. He can do it all. The scary part is that Palmer and Joao Pedro aren't just great individually, they make each other even better. They're 2 players with similar instincts but different styles. Together, they become unpredictable, explosive, and insanely effective. Joao Pedro's versatility will keep defenders guessing. He'll pull centre-backs out of shape, drag full-backs away from their zones, and open up space for Palmer, Neto, or even Liam Delap to wreak havoc. Just his presence on the pitch forces teams to overthink, and that's exactly what Maresca wants. This isn't just a promising partnership. This is the duo that could take over the league. Chelsea's back, and with Palmer and Joao Pedro leading the way, they're ready to make the Premier League their playground.